going on, everybody? It's Ashton, your coach of the Halifax Huntails, and we're going to be back with another Pokemon Draft League content video. This time it is URSDL Week 7 versus iNasty, coach of the London Drapion. And kind of interesting to note here, this is a very, very important week for a couple of reasons. This could potentially dictate our seeding in our possibility for where we could potentially seed at the end of the regular season if we are able to win/lose this. And there's still always going to be a chance if we lose pretty drastically in the next couple of weeks that we might not make it to playoffs on just 4 wins. But I really like our chances where we have we're tied for the highest differential in the league with the first seed team. So yeah, I'm not gonna I'm still gonna exercise the possibility of that happening, but I'm gonna kind of keep it, as one of the lower possibility things of occurring. This is also kind of an important week for my opponent, as he is 3-3. He's actually made a very, very strong case for why he should be a playoff contender, as he won 3 straight. So yeah, he's kind of carrying a lot of momentum into this week versus us, and yeah, we're gonna see if we can't try to slow his very, very strong team down. I think he was a very likely candidate for best draft in the league, not gonna lie, and he hasn't made any transactions to this point, so he's still sticking with that very, very strong team. Very, very good cohesion, if you ask me, within that team. Like, it's backed by a very, very potent defensive core in Togekiss and Porygon 2, so yeah, just a lot of things to worry about with this team. So to kind of get into what my opponent has access to, my opponent, iNasty, has access to Urshifu Rapid Strike, Togekiss, as mentioned before, Superior, Porygon 2, Copperajah, Dragalge, Shiinotic, Mega Alakazam, Skeledirge, Tinglu, Vikavolt, and Avalugg. So honestly, a very, very disgusting team. Just Urshifu pair with a defensive backbone, such as, honestly, Urshifu and Mega Alakazam as a very offensive pairing when paired with Pokemon that create a defensive backbone like Togekiss and Porygon 2 is honestly just so disgusting. Not to mention there's really reliable hazard setters for this team, such as Tinglu, Vikavolt, which has access to Sticky Web, Stealth Rock, and Spikes within that pairing, as well as something along the lines of recovery mods such as Skeledirge and Avalugg. So yeah, just a lot to kind of worry about there. And honestly, Skeledirge and Avalugg almost make their own, I'm kind of realizing this now, they almost kind of make their own like hazard control core, where Skeledirge can spin block and Avalugg can rapid spin. And they're not necessarily weak to the same things outside of rock typing. So yeah, that could be an interesting thing. So I'm going to kind of have my work cut out for me this week. I think iNasty's getting really good grips with his team, and it's a very scary team when someone like iNasty is behind the wheel. So yeah, to kind of get into how I prepped for this week, I prepped very kind of back-footed in a way. So you might notice there's a lot less, potent team members that I would have normally brought. Doesn't necessarily mean offensively or defensively. I think it's just a combination of, mons that I've used probably the most in previous weeks are not necessarily making a huge amount of splashes in the matchup, so I opted not to bring them over other team members. So yeah, to start things off, Tapu Bulu. So I knew kind of right away that Urshifu Rapid was going to be a big threat to my team, so Tapu Bulu was definitely a mon that I needed to consider in the matchup. I have enough attack investments where I OHKO most Urshifu Rapids with Horn Leech. I also wanted to make sure that I could potentially, just have some way of, not getting forced out every time versus things like Togekiss. So the Stone Edge, the investment in attack coupled with Stone Edge allows me to have a chance of 2-shotting a max HP Togekiss, I believe. I'll have to double check that later. But yeah, there's definitely some calcs where I think the combination of actually Leech C plus Stone Edge 2-KOs every single variant of Togekiss. So that's important to note there. Substitute, of course, allowing me to make and not have to worry about scouting switches as much, or making reads on switches. I can kind of just scout with Substitute and allow me to get off Leech Seeds against things like Togekiss. So yeah, that's the thinking behind that. And it is important to note, unfortunately, that my plays against Togekiss might vary based on what I learn about the Pokemon, as I am not built to outspeed it in any way. So yeah, I don't want to let this thing's health get very, very low with, air/flinches. So I'm going to be making a lot of use of keeping myself healthy with Grassy Surge and Leech Seed, I think, with this Pokemon. But yeah, that's kind of the thinking on that. Diancie Mega's going to make an appearance again. It's come every week. I just can't see reason to not bring this Mon again in this matchup. Just where it outspeeds a lot of key members of my opponent's team, and it also has perfect coverage for my opponent in the combination of Moonblast plus Earth Power. For the most part, I mean, I would have loved to bring Rock-type coverage to hit something like the Togekiss, but as you'll see later on, I do have some other offensive members of my team to, help me check them on a little bit better. Yeah, it's not going to be something that I skip out on having checks for. I think Togekiss very, very likely bring versus my draft. And I also think just where Porygon 2 is so potent, I think there's just all the more reason to bring a Pokemon like that. Kind of threaten the, wish passing into Porygon 2 shenanigans. And of course, you could also bring just Roost and Recover on Porygon 2 with Togekiss and just, baton pass and teleport between each other. And that can just be potent on its own. So yeah, just very, very, very tough defensive backbone to break, hence the team composition here. But yeah, like I said before, Moonblast plus Earth Power hits everything, and Calm Mind allows me to make it so that I can set myself up to 2-hit KO things like the Togekiss that I'm not hitting super effectively. So yeah, that's the thinking behind that. Skuntank makes an appearance, and it's very important to note that my switch-ins to Mega Alakazam are limited. So hence Skuntank. So I was doing some calcs. There is chances of things like Focus Blast not... I believe it's... I think I'm guaranteed not to die to 2 Focus Blasts on this Pokemon. And of course, where Focus Blast is 70% accurate, I'm not really too worried about, the rolls on that per se. So yeah, there's a lot of things going in my favor with this set. Not to jinx myself here, but Assault Vest allows me to easily switch into Mega Alakazam, and Sucker Punch has a very, very high chance of OHKOing Mega Alakazam. And if he switches out, Pursuit will definitely kill. So yeah, it also gives me a nice option for two-shotting Togekiss. So this is one of those offensive team members that I iterated before for being able to fill that role that I much need to at least kind of threaten that defensive backbone right away. And of course, Poison Gel plus Skunk Shot, where they both have a chance to poison, could be nice against a potential Porygon 2 switching in. I think that's just a very, very strong passive mon for him to, just be able to switch into multiple things on my team. Yeah, it also is important to know, like, things like Tapu Bulu obviously aren't going to be able to two-shot a defensive Porygon 2, even with the Leech Seed. Like, it's just such a bulky mon. I'm not looking forward to facing it this week, not going to lie. I mean, if there's ever... a Pokemon that I'm like praying doesn't come, even though it's very, very likely to come, it's Porygon 2 this week. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough week, but I'll keep saying that as this team builder continues. But yeah, Skuntank just very, very generally good mon. It can switch into things. It can also slow down things like Skeledirge with Torch Song, I think is important to note too. So it's filling a lot of multiple roles. And I'm kind of hoping with the other team members I decided to bring this week that Skuntank isn't pressured too much to deal with too many things, if that makes sense. Like, it's always an option to switch into Skeledirge, but mainly it is for Alakazam and Togekiss. So if I can accomplish at least, checking one of those Pokemon, or if Skuntank can at least, get off a Gunk Shot on Togekiss or kill Alakazam or Pursuit Trap Alakazam, it's done its job. But I don't want it to not be in a position to be able to do that. So I'm not going to be able to, necessarily switch it in as freely on Skeledirges that have Torch Song. So yeah, that's why Keldeo's here. So to kind of lead into team members that take the blows or take the pressure off of Skuntank, Keldeo's that Pokemon. Just kind of scroll down here. Yeah, Assault Vest allows me to switch into things like Skeledirge a lot better. And it's just a very, very solid option in general. Like, I didn't really need any other items on this Pokemon, and where I opted to bring the 4 moves that I brought, it was just, something that I couldn't say no to. So this is a special attacking option that might have a chance of two-shotting Porygon 2. So this, I believe, I was looking at Focus Blast calcs. I couldn't see myself bringing Secret Sword, where even if he was Spadef, where Secret Sword bases its damage on the physical defense of a Pokemon, I couldn't see myself bringing Secret Sword based on some chance that he might not be Fizdef, because I think Fizdef is also very likely bring versus what I have on my draft. It didn't 2-hit KO comfortably enough if it was Spadef, so that's hence why I brought Focus Blast. So we're running a little bit riskier with Keldeo this week. It's kind of playing a couple of roles, like a bulky offensive pivot, but it's mainly there to switch in and do a lot of damage to something when Porygon 2 gets threatened out. So if I'm able to get that damage off on Porygon 2 with Keldeo, this is going to be a very, very good week for us. It's going to make the game plan a little bit easier. So yeah, Keldeo able to threaten out Porygon 2 and take some hits from full from things like Togekiss and Alakazam if I had to, which I don't think I'll ever need to. I don't think I'll never see myself staying in on something like Alakazam, of course. Hence why I have things like Skuntank. So yeah, just the thinking behind that there. Scald's nice in general to potentially burn some physical attackers. It also just, where Surf doesn't necessarily outcode the things that I would have brought Surf for, Scald's just a very good utility option. It doesn't lose me anything by bringing a less powerful move. It honestly is better in the chances of being able to burn stuff like Ting-Lu, so I can live 2 Earthquakes from Pokemon like that. And Copperajah even, I might be able to, depending on the set, be able to have some fun against that Pokemon. But yeah, so that's the kind of thinking there. Icy Wind is kind of there just to allow things like Superior to not go crazy in an emergency situation. I think Superior is very, very likely bring against my team as well. So having the ability to slow it down below the speed of Mega Diancie could be nice. Yeah, and I believe with the speed I have on Skuntank, I might be able to outspeed Superior -1 as well. So yeah, it's going to be a nice utility option there. Vaporeon's here. So this was a very, very tricky set for me. I knew I definitely wanted to bring something that forced Urshifu to click a fighting move. And if that fighting move is close combat, well, then he's going to be lowering his defenses. And hence why Hyper Voice is here. Now, I was looking at Vaporeon's move pool before deciding on the moveset this week. And before, I believe, Gen 7 or Gen 8, it got Synchro Noise, which is a base 120 power psychic type move. And as long as the opposing Pokemon shares a typing with you, you can hit it. So I was very gutted to learn that that move got cut from the game, because I totally would have brought that over Hyper Voice, even though it didn't hit anything else besides the Urshifu. I think it would have been kind of a stretch as well, because of, you know, it'll be very, very... That'll be way too much prep, I think, for one Pokemon. But Hyper Voice does all right. Like, I believe after a close combat, I should be able to two-shot a fully offensive Urshifu Rapid. So that is important to note. Like, no bulk, and it might still be a roll. But just where Vaporeon's natural special attack is so high, this neutral hitting 90 base power special attacking move allows me to have that opportunity. So just kind of thinking there. But... and it just kind of gives me something bulky to come in on Urshifu and kind of force it to lock itself into moves if it is choice to, that don't do a whole lot of damage to other key members of my team. So yeah, that's the thinking there. Like if I know that he's choice locked, I could always switch into Tapu Bulu, like if he's choice locked into a fighting move. And then I have some momentum or some freedom to, you know, make plays there, whether I Horn, Leech, Leaf, or Sub. So that's the thinking behind this kind of pairing of Fizdef Mons here between Tapu Bulu and Vaporeon. Now, I realize that Unseen Fist is a thing, and I have Protect on Vaporeon, so I can't necessarily stall turns if I know that Urshifu's got close combat and can click it on a turn where I say Wish. So yeah, I'm gonna have to play accordingly. Hence why I have Kabia Berry on Tapu Bulu as well. I forgot to mention Tapu Bulu with Kabia Berry is able to live any one hit from Urshifu Rapid if it's Life Orb at Adamant as well. So yeah, so it's kind of my defensive backbone for Urshifu and other things that are lesser threats on the physical side. Now Darm is going to make an appearance because I don't have any things that naturally outspeed Alakazam, of course, being base 150 speed. The only option I have on my draft is Scarface, where my fastest team member is only base 123, and that is Swellow. Might be base 125, I can't really remember. Anyway, it's not coming this week. But yeah, Darm is just able to come in, revenge kill, click the nuke button. Every time that I switch this in on Alakazam, I click U-turn, and I have momentum. So that it's a very, very important role for me to have, given that my team is a little bit less, like it doesn't have the potency of, say, my previous teams in previous weeks. Like this matchup kind of reminds me of my matchup against the Glyn County Googers in a way where it's very offensive, but the difference between that matchup and this matchup is iNasty's defensive core is a lot more disgusting. So there's hard hitters on both teams, but there is a defensive backbone on iNasty's team to back it up. So, you know, otherwise I wouldn't have necessarily brought something like Vaporeon this week. So yeah, that's important to note. But yeah, this matchup's going to be a very, very extreme version of our matchup against the Glyn County Googers, I'd say. So if you're ever kind of getting my reference, if you watch the Glyn County Googers battle video, you'll see what I mean. But yeah, so Darm has, you know, the coverage it needs. You could argue that I could have brought fighting coverage on this for things like Porygon 2, and, you know, it does hit Ting Lu, but I do have a chance to two-shot Porygon 2 if it's especially defensive with Icicle Crash, so, you know, I'm not just going to stretch, especially where if he's Fizdef Superpower doesn't 2-hit KO Fizdef Porygon 2, so it wasn't really something I needed to stretch to bring. If Skeletor is gone too, like, there's not much to switch us into a Thrash, which is funny. So that's the thinking there. Like, you could argue that I could have brought Superpower 2 for something like Avalugg. But you know, I might make that change later, actually, but we'll see there. But yeah, Ice plus Dark hits everything that I was hoping to hit. I just wanted to be able to like not have Skeletor come in every single time on this, and I could revenge kill that Pokemon if I needed to with this Pokemon. So yeah, not too much to be said about Darm Galar. Standard set again, always going to be standard set. It's very easy to prep with that Pokemon, and I've enjoyed prepping with it throughout the regular season. But yeah, I think it's going to be my team builder to close it off. I'm very, very worried about the 6 Pokemon I think are going to come are Togekiss, Porygon 2 is a defensive core. I think Urshifu and Alakazam are also going to come. And then something like Ting Lu and Superior are the things that I think round out this team, just where it gives them a hazard setting option and then a specially offensive Pokemon that comes in and offensively checks my Mega Diancie. And I think just where Mega Diancie is the kill leader, it's kind of stapled itself as the biggest threat on my team. So I think he's going to do whatever he can to, you know, prep accordingly for that Pokemon. So I think Superior is just a pretty likely 6th Pokemon there. But yeah, that's really it. Yeah, we're going to see if we can't get in contact with my opponent and see if we can't net the Halifax Huntails their 5th win of the season and kind of really cement ourselves as the 2nd seed team. We are currently 2nd seed. We are tied for wins with 2 other coaches, but we have a much higher differential than both those coaches. We are 4-2 and plus 17, and Evil, who we had lost to in week 4, is 4-2 and plus 13. So he's kind of nipping at our heels a little bit. So if we win this, we kind of establish ourselves as the 2nd seed. So very, very much looking to do that this week. But yeah, we're going to get in contact with iNasty and see how this very, very scary battle goes. But yeah, wish your Halifax Huntails good luck because we're going to need it. All right, and I think we are ready to go. So this is week 7 versus iNasty. It's a very, very tough matchup. As you probably saw, I talked about it a bunch in the team builder on how difficult this one's going to be, I'd say. So yeah, without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more time, especially, so this is the day after I recorded my team builder, and I noticed that the team building part was about 20 minutes, so I'm definitely looking to not waste any more time. Okay, we see a very different 6 than I was expecting, barring the 4 leftmost mons. Skeledirge wasn't something that I was necessarily 100% would come, but it had a high chance, I'd say. Nevertheless, wow, I'm surprised to see no Togekiss. What else did he not bring? Togekiss and Tinglu was the other one. Okay, so Tinglu's pretty understandable. Felt like it had an alright time versus me, but not like, it was one of the mons that I thought was changeable on his draft. Okay. Seeing this, I do kind of want to lead Keldeo. Dragalge is definitely not something I was expecting. I didn't really prep for that Pokemon. I don't really do too much to it with the members of my team either. Okay. I mean, a fun lead if I'm expecting Dragalge lead could be Diancie. I think Diancie and Keldeo are the things I was kind of like most debating on leading. I guess Darm's an option too, but okay. Darm is an option. I think I'll lead Keldeo. It's kind of my first choice. So the only thing that do outspeed Diancie are, of course, the Serperior and the Alakazam. Urshifu could be Scarfed. Oregon's the lead. Okay, I do get the lead matchup, which is kind of nice. So I was calculating this before, and I'm fairly certain I always two-shot this Pokemon. Yeah, so I kind of do threaten it out a bit. What's a play if I was to flip turn here? What's a switch-in I would do? I mean, to be honest, I can just kind of Focus Blast here. I could also Icy Wind, predicting a switch. Like, I have some plays. Momentum-wise, flip turn is the best choice. Part of me does just kind of want to Focus Blast. Just something's going to get hit. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Nice. Get that nice early damage on this Pokemon. And Asulfos allows us to chew that. That's good. Alright, so he's at risk of dying, so I think he's going to want to probably switch into perhaps Dragalge. So I think what I want to do is flip turn. Yeah, nice. Okay. So this Pokemon, Dragalge, just want to see what kind of coverage this thing gets, because I might be able to get off my Mega here. Start clicking Calm Mind. I'm just going to see what coverage it gets for me. Special moves. Does it get access to Hydro Pump? How much am I doing to Dragalge? Earth Power does half. I don't appreciate a Sludge Bomb if it specs either. And after Calm Mind, yeah, it's not worth... Well, it could be. Though... it's not likely that I kill after a Calm Mind, so... I think the safest play is just go Darm. Am I thinking? I'll do that. So Skeledirge is looking like his switch. Oh, you did reveal as well that is Spadef Porygon 2, so it's going to make his time switching that into my physical attackers a lot harder. I can U-turn here. Yeah, there's the Skeledirge as predicted. I think I can go into... What's the best play? Probably into... Keldeo's not bad. I want to keep Skuntank healthy for Superior. And I feel like if I go Keldeo now, I'll pressure him to going into Superior earlier, and I kind of like that sequence of plays for me. Do I naturally outspeed this with Vaporeon as well? I don't think I do, right? Base 66, yeah, I don't think so. Oh, that stinks. I probably should have looked at that in my team building. Like, he doesn't know that I don't have a water move. I think I just go Keldeo here. Fire of a Scald. Not a bad play. I do live any one hit from the Skeledirge. Or I'm Assault Vested. I really like Assault Vest Keldeo on this matchup. Kind of curious to know if Urshifu's Scarf, because that could be a very big, mean a lot of things like game. Okay, so we get a nice amount of damage there. So he does opt to slack off. I think here I could flip turn, predicting a switch. Yeah, nice. So Dragalge is in again. I think what I want to do here, so let me just get an idea based on the Keldeo damage, what type of Skeledirge this could be. So it did 80%, so it's likely no Spadef. So it's at least max HP. So if it's max defense, how much is Darm's Icicle Crash doing? 21 to 24, okay. It's also not leftovers. Do I go? Ooh, it's also not Specs Dragalge. I kind of want to go Diancie then. And get off a Calm Mind, I think is the play. Because I'm fairly certain Superior won't ever kill me then. After a Calm Mind? Yeah, it shouldn't. And then I might be able to pick it off with a Moonblast. I could also use this opportunity to get up rocks. It's a play I can make too. How much is a Hydro Pump from a non-Specs Dragalge doing though, first? It's not doing a whole lot. That's with Calm Mind. Okay, it's not killing, but... I'm gonna Calm Mind. Flip turns, okay. So what's the play here? Go Serp, okay. So... I could have gotten my rocks up, which kind of stinks. Does Serp kill? I think I just saw that it did after the Calm Mind. Yeah, there's a chance. So... I don't know if I really want to risk that just yet, so... I think I'm gonna go Skuntank. I think. Like, it's not 100% of the time that he kills. Although if he's modest, then he does. What if he's modest outspeed too, so. This is a very big turning point in the game. I'm debating whether I want to sack Diancie here, I'm not gonna lie. I can set up on other things later though, so I think for now I just want to go Skuntank. He storms me, okay. That's fine. Do I want to get off a... I do kill with Gunk Shot. I think I'm gonna Gunk Shot here. Risk the miss. Leech Seeds. Get off Gunk Shot, that's that. Pokemon gone, that is huge, because now Skuntank can be a dedicated check, or dedicated switch into Alakazam every time. That's amazing. I'm very shocked he stayed in, honestly. Okay. I think I don't really know where to go from here. Kind of need Keldeo, don't I? Like, what are the chances he clicks Sludge Bomb is what I'm struggling with. How much is this thing taking from Galaxy? You know it's not specs, but versus this, yeah, I think it's doing a fair bit. And he's got Leech Seed, so I definitely want to keep this thing healthier. Part of me wants to go Keldeo to scout what he's doing. Like, just in case he flip turns. Even though it's kind of an awkward, yeah. It's tough, I didn't really have a play there. I didn't want to give Vaporeon... like, you can't go Vaporeon net yet. Okay, so I can go into Pepe now. If he sub this, okay, still. I can still just Pursuit Trap this Pokemon. I wonder if I live, actually. I don't think I do, but it'd be really funny if I did. No, I don't. So yeah, just go into Skuntank. Mega Balls, Traces from Aftermath, Focus Blast. I can just Pursuit. That's huge. There goes Alakazam. Oh my gosh. That is huge. Algae's in. I think Skuntank's done its job, so I want to kind of stay in on this Pokemon and get off as much damage as I can to put it into range of Earth Power from Diancie. That is amazing. Go Skuntank. Sucker Punch will do a fair chunk. Okay. Just in case he wants to switch for some reason. Go. Okay, so now I'm fairly certain Diancie kills with Earth Power. It's in my favor anyway. Also, I can kind of gauge that this is whether or not this is modest based on Sludge Bomb's damage. Did 15. So it actually did less than modest damage. Ooh, interesting. Okay, like, I feel like I just can fire off a Moonblast. Or an Earth Power, excuse me. Like, nothing really wants to take that. I'm in a pretty commanding position here, I'd say, given that Porygon's health is what it is. Ah, it lived, okay. It's a shame. If he goes Urshifu, that kind of screams Scarf. Okay, so Porygon's in. I know for a fact it is specially defensive Porygon. How much is Discharge doing to my vape? Not doing a whole lot. How much is Bulu doing? So can sub against this potentially? I could also start just calm mining against this. How many calm mines do I need? Rocks wouldn't be terrible either. Late game rocks. I'd probably need 2 calm mines, wouldn't I? Yeah, to even have a chance. I'm going to... calm mine once in rocks, maybe? It's okay. Stealth rocks here. Oh, wow. Good bring. That's cool. I don't think I'll stop Diancie from getting a kill, though, because Dragalji's at Rock's range. And it's confirmed to be Black Sludge, so... Wow, what a cool bring. I knew it. I knew it was going to be some sort of funky, like... Well, I didn't know Iron Tail was going to be the thing, but I knew it was going to be some, like... specially defensive Pokemon to... get destroyed by that. Yeah, there's Dragalji, dies to Diancie's rocks. Okay, Urshifu's in. I can get an idea as to whether or not there's a Scarf right here. Power just flickered in my house, that was crazy. It is not Scarf. Okay, so I think this is where I go into Vaporeon. Ghost Combat. Okay. So it's not Scarf, and it's not Banded. Interesting. Swords Dances. It's fine. So I can just go into... Does Scald kill this? Does a Keldeo Scald kill Urshifu Water at -2? Also, I can get an idea... Urshifu Rapid. Where's my vape? And he was -1 at the time of me doing that. He was definitely no bulk. So... Keldeo Scald, when that is at -2, should kill. A nice Scald off here. Skeletor comes in, it's gonna die. Nice. Okay. Porygon's in. I think I need to Focus Blast it right away. Nice. Discharges me. Good. Now, is it in range of Scald? Is it in range of Scald? No. So I need to Focus Blast again. I do miss, that's unfortunate. Need to hit another. I'm kind of forced to stay in here, which kind of stinks. Okay, I do hit that one. It's fine. Hit that one too. I could flip turn here. How much is Darm doing? Because it might two-shot. Could Scald off this. Okay. I think I can flip turn this turn. How do I win this? I think I be aggressive with Boo here, probably Leech Seed this. It's fine. I'm gonna sub. He does have Ice Beam, okay. Good to know. I think a Horn Leech then. It's fine. Oh, that's annoying. Leech Seed this turn. I think here... I could... I just can't... One leech, yeah. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, Discharge is doing how much? It does kill me, okay. I just kind of lose if I go into Darm here, so I'm forced in a way to stay in. That sucks. What if he recovers you? No, he just goes for the kill, okay. So... I should be fine to go into Darm and click Icicle Crash. I need to hit this one for sure. Hopefully no miss. Like I can beat Urshifu with either of these two Pokemon at the end. Okay. There we go. Porygon's down. Now, how much is Darm's Icicle Crash doing to Urshifu? It's Tripping range. Let's go, baby. Oh my gosh. What a win. I will take that. Oh my gosh. Well played. Well played. Oh my gosh. Ah, man. That was a rough matchup, not gonna lie. Yeah. Yeah, I was adamant. Whew, man. Okay. That was nerve-wracking. Yeah, I'm very thankful that I didn't have to worry about Togekiss as well as Ting-Lu. I did kind of get lucky on some of the reads there, but hey, yeah, I'm so shocked right now. We do solidify playoffs. One good thing to know, I think we already kind of did, but just where the standings kind of were shaping out, you didn't always have a guaranteed spot in playoffs with 4 wins, excuse me. I think our differential was high enough to where it didn't matter. Just where the lowest possible 4-4 winner is going to be floating around the even, and just where we have a plus 17 differential, even with 2 6-0 losses, we would still guarantee the playoffs with the 4 wins there. So yeah, I'm going to take this for now. We're going to turn our sights to seeding placements, as we do kind of have still a chance to claim the number 2 seeding in this league. I think number 1's still attainable, but it's very, very unlikely. We need a couple of circumstances to play out, such as Mark losing. He's only lost once this league so far. So yeah, we're gonna pay attention to that, and thank you all for watching. To those who've stayed to the very end of this, I apologize for the length of the team builder, but yeah, as always, I will see y'all for the next one. All right, bye-bye.